All right, going live. Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. I am your co-host, Godly Sovereign, and today I have with me Sir Knight. What is good, my man? How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. Just chilling, chillaxing over here, man. In Hemacinto. Heard you went to the movies today. What'd you see?
Yeah,
Movies,
man. Saw Sonic the Hedgehog too, bro.
Oh, you saw Sonic. Okay.
Yeah,
What did you give
yeah, man.
Two
Take your kids
thumbs,
to
one thumb, two thumbs
Oh
down.
no, it was good. It was dope.
Okay.
I liked
All right.
I liked the first one. And I liked the direction that they took it and whatnot. I thought it was pretty cool. And then the second one seemed like it gave a little bit more shine to like some in certain areas to some of the other actors that took place in the movie. Because the first one it looked like it really focused on Sonic and whatnot. And in this one, it seemed like they were giving like little certain parts of the movie to like the woman and the man and whatnot of the movie, like a couple of other people around the story and things like that. It had this
With the first one, I always wish that they went a little bit more like Flash level with his speed. Like it was more like those scenes in like the mutants or whatever when he's like cool. It's like whoa. Or,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I wish
Oh, where shit's like slowing down and stuff like that.
It's almost like time has stopped. Like I think like that was a really neat when like I think Batman vs Superman with the Flash did that.
Yeah,
like,
but I also think at
speed.
the same time they didn't want to overdo it and kind of like burn it into the ground. You know what I mean? Like I think they did do it like once or something like that in the first one, and they did do it sort of in the second one.
It just gets confusing because like there's some scenes where like I feel like he goes around the planet in an instant, and then there's some scenes where it's like he's slower than that. It's like I'm not really sure like how strong he is. I wish it was a little bit more concrete.
Yeah, I think it's probably just like a lot going on in his head and whatnot, and because he is just starting off, trying to be the hero in a sense, he hasn't like fully like wrapped his head around everything, being able to think about multiple scenarios and stuff like that or whatever. But I thought that this one was really fun, and it was a cool movie. Had a lot going on. I liked the addition of Tails finally in the movie, and then he had like mad dope gadgets. He's a freaking smart guy or whatever, so he had a lot of cool stuff in his bag. I like the addition of Knuckles, played by Idris Elba. It was cool. He didn't have like a lot of like craziness going on or whatever, but he was a tough mofo. So you know what I mean? It was cool seeing them clash and things like that. And Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik, so there's a bunch of nonsense going on and stuff like that, specifically for the kids and stuff. But there was a couple of
man, like these video game movies aren't very good, man, at like doing boss fights for some reason. They're a little awkward and wonky and like janky. I don't know.
I think it's because it's hard to imitate the difficulty of a boss really fight into a movie.
So I don't know what you do about that, but yeah, it's interesting to me.
But yeah, I mean that leads me to like, the majority of video game movies we say are like complete shit. Like they're just like ass, the adaptations that they come. But I've actually enjoyed the last couple of ones that have come out. I enjoyed the Sonic ones. I actually enjoyed the movie Uncharted. There were a couple of inconsistencies with the story and whatnot. But other than that, I thought it was a cool story and whatnot. And
I just thought it was okay. It was just okay to me.
Yeah, it wasn't like stupendous. If I probably like, because it is like that National Treasures type of movie, and I was to compare it to like National Treasures or Sahara or something like that, I would still probably put National Treasures ahead of it.
I agree,
because of the storyline. And National Treasures was
a lot more better. Intriguing along the way. I thought it was like
really intriguing. I felt like Uncharted had a few things that was kind of like why, like that it didn't make sense. Like the moves that were made didn't make any sense. Like you saw it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, but old girl, when they went down into the sewer area, and they found the big vases of salt or whatever, and she decides to like betray him after he opens up the vase and sees that there's salt inside, or and breaks it and then finds it. It's like, come on, man. Like, he got you all the way over here to this destination, right? You didn't put two and two together before he came around. And you haven't even found the gold yet, and you want to betray him? Why not wait until you have the gold in hand and then backstab him? Like, why put all that effort to backstab him this far in the future, in advance, and then they to betray him again?
And then they send her on like a wild goose chase and like just delete her from like the story at the end. Like, okay, I didn't even know why we involved her. I guess just because she needed to come and give us the half of her key, but like it's almost irrelevant. It's almost irrelevant. And then she just
sending her to the other side of the island and whatnot. And it's like, okay, so now she's not
directions. Like, it was just weird, and I thought like there would have been some cool. They could have done some more cool stuff with those pirate ships flying in.
Yeah.
They didn't quite go like maybe cannonball fire, something dope.
But even that didn't make sense, dude. Those ships were worth billions of dollars.
Yeah, I know, it's frustrating.
Well, I'm dropping that shit off, and then I'm just gonna catch up to you with my light load.
It's frustrating.
Like,
it was frustrating.
I could have dropped it off by the boat where they were ready to receive it.
I hated
and then
that
just
ending.
go fight, just go follow
I hated
them.
how they didn't get anything.
It's a big ass helicopter carrying a ship. Like, you'll find it out there. You know what I mean? Like, you'll chase it down. Like, that shit didn't make any sense whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
But did you see Jungle Cruise?
Yeah, actually, I enjoyed Jungle Cruise.
Dude, that movie surprised the shit out of me, man.
Me too.
I was like, okay, I like the way they took the story. This was a good movie.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Like, we just went and saw that. What was it, like Lost Kingdom or whatever with
with Sandra Bullock.
With Sandra Bullock and Channing
Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. And I thought Jungle Cruise just objectively better. Like, my wife really liked it a lot because she's a huge Sandra Bullock fan. And I thought the first half of the movie was really good. But I thought I just thought Jungle Cruise was better. I think Jungle Cruise has been like one of the better like treasure adventures that we've had since like
in the last like year or two or so.
Yeah, since like the what'd you say, the one with
I like Sahara.
Well, I mean, of course, Jumanji is the best. Like, Jumanji is the best.
It's just the best movie, period. Like, it's got a 99 on Rotten Tomato, and if it doesn't, y'all some haters. Like, it should.
That's what I'm saying about like even with like the new like Sonics and like the Uncharted, they're just not quite like funny enough. Like, Jumanji is the best like video game. I mean, I think Jumanji was a video game, wasn't it? Like, or did they make the video game after the movie?
Board
Jumanji?
Game. It was a board game and whatnot. Yeah, they made the video game after.
They kind of make it a video game because it's like a video game world they kind of go into and stuff.
Which was a cool way to kind of like modernize it, you know, when it used to be board game, like bringing it into the 21st century, you know.
But the writing and the comedy was just like so much better than like what these new movies are. Like, that's what I wish they were just better at, just more interesting. You can and that interest can come from anything. It can come from like really intriguing puzzles like National Treasure, or like you're really intrigued on like what they figure out. You're like, whoa, that's cool, man. Or it can be really interesting just by just being straight funny constantly. And like, I just wish they were just a little more interesting from start to finish. Like, these movies, like, they have moments, but they're just they're kind of slow and like they lose interest at certain points.
Yeah, because I think they try to develop like some like kind of emotional tie to the character, and sometimes it's not really needed. You know what I mean? In certain projects, it's not really needed. You know, I don't even necessarily need an emotional tie to Sonic. You know what I mean? If Sonic just jumped into pure action the whole time,
interesting in his
like
action.
Give me all the interesting scenarios. But it was still pretty cool. You know what I mean? Seeing that and seeing how like Sonic is treated as like a teenager, and he approaches things like a teenager would and stuff like that. So, you know, you're kind of seeing like this origin story in a sense. You know what I mean? This isn't the Sonic who been fighting Dr. Robotnik for 30-something years. You know? He's fresh into this, you know. But yeah, man. So, you know, there's been a lot of these video game adaptation movies that have been coming out that I thought were at least better than what they have been. You know what I mean? It wasn't no Super Mario Bros. Type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it
real janky.
Yeah, real janky stuff. And you know, some of these other ones like Monster Hunter that are just like pure disappointment. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I really enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, I would check it out, because it does the video game some pretty good justice. I mean, it was a really cool scene towards the end where I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then I like how they add like the little the tidbits and stuff like that. Also, have you seen Halo, the show?
No, I've been hearing nothing but bad things. So I actually haven't taken the time. I feel like it's not worth even sitting down and watching, because I've heard like quite a few bad reviews on it.
I haven't. I think it's okay. It's not like it's not like super great. I kind of put it close to that sci-fi show. I don't know if you remember the name, Defiant. I think it was Defiant.
That was the one you liked, and that game came out. I never watched that show.
No. I like the idea that they had the show running alongside of the video game. So like you would see these characters in the show and they were in the game, and the game evolved as the show evolved. But the show was just ass. You know what I mean? It wasn't good at all. So, but Halo was like, okay. But I thought it was really funny how they tried to incorporate every single nuance of Halo within the first episode to kind of like hook you in, like the Master Chief getting shot, his shield's down, like it's coming back, like they try to add like every freaking sound effect that they can possibly add,
the grenades and everything.
So it was just like funny to hear them, like to see like, okay, what you gonna try to add in on this one, you know what I mean? Like what are you trying to jam pack with everything? This was like the pilot, and it was really trying to sell this bitch. So they was trying to add like all the shit. If anything, we're gonna get all of this into one episode. So at least we put it in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think like this is it's the same as that problem I think we mentioned before when we talked about these movies. Is some things like what makes them great is that you're doing it, you're playing it. Yeah. If I was just sitting down watching the screen while like it unfolded, like Halo wouldn't be wonderful. Like what makes it wonderful is like that I'm shooting, I'm playing,
that you're doing the moves that
like my heart's racing. Yeah, exactly. Like it's just that's what's fun about it. Like if I'm just sitting there watching them on screen, like that ain't gonna be fun. Like it's really hard to turn a stinking video game into a movie. I wish they would kind of stop, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, they're not gonna stop. It's always
they're not. But it's just, they don't work. They never work.
Yeah, they're just trying to consistently find something to do with these IPs, and I commend them. You know what I mean? Because it's like you have this IP, and if you can't make a game, make a show or a movie or throw toys, whatever.
Like when you go from like a book to a movie, you're excited because the movie is actually adding to what the book is, because there was no
sometimes they're completely different.
No, what I mean is you get excited. Like I'm actually excited. Like when you make a book,
because you get to see the character brought into life.
Yeah, they may fail at it. But what I'm saying is I'm excited. I get excited for it because I get to visually see what I only thought of in my brain, right? When I was
right.
So the movie is adding an element on top that I didn't get in the book, right? But when you go from a video game to a movie, you're actually losing an element. You're not gaining an element, you're losing an element, because I was able to listen and watch the game, but I was also able to interact with it myself while I played with the controller.
You were able to tell how the story was going to go. Like you were able to push the story in a certain direction.
Right. So when you go from a book to a movie, they work really well. Like books to movies do great. Like anything, Game of Thrones. I mean, you could almost name some of the greatest things have come from books. But when you go from a video game to a movie, you're actually losing elements of the medium so it's not just a game. Where movies, you're like gaining something. Even when you go from a movie to a book, you're gaining something, because when you go from a movie to a book, you're getting more information because the books are longer. So I actually want to read the book now because I can learn more from what I just watched. But so movies to books and books to movies work really well, but video games to movies don't really work like that great. And so like I just don't know that's why it's very difficult to you have to do something else, like make it super funny like they did with Jumanji, or you have to do something else to make you hooked. Don't just show me, like you said, the sounds of Halo and like the Halo action. Do something that the game isn't doing in order to get me hooked, and they don't do that. They never seem to be able to nail that ever.
Right.
It's funny. So you're just
bored.
for
sure. One of the
just like watching.
One of the best examples that I have is Final Fantasy. Because they came out with a couple of those movies or whatever using like the CG that Square Enix uses, and I've always thought they look beautiful. You know what I mean? Because like Square Enix's engine that they use to generate their cutscenes and stuff is fucking crazy, man. It looks dope. But I've never been interested in like listening to the story. You know what I mean? Like to watch the story. It's just never once captivated me to like, oh, I should check this out. You know what I mean? Because like, I'd rather play the story if anything.
Yeah, because you get to actually fight and play. So you're it's worth trudging through those boring.
Yeah, that's what draws you in. Is having to get like, through. You're trying to get through that boss or whatever. You know what I mean? You're not just watching it go.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's fun. Exactly. I just watch it. Exactly. So we'll see. I mean, like you said, they're not going to stop trying, but it's a very hard medium to translate to the movie because you're losing so much. The interactivity is like, that's like 60% of what makes a game fun. The story is like 30, and like the visuals are like 10. So it's like the interactivity is what's so huge with the video game. You're losing all that. And I don't know how you make it all up. You gotta be really good at it. Good writer.
Tough, man. It's tough. I think or it's gotta be like some good story that you really just want to know more about. You know what I mean? like there was just so much left of the story that you really want to know, and this is the like gap filler or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like where you're because just lost.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have no clue as to how the lore goes, so they make a movie to give you the Elden Ring lore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like you're fighting this guy. Like, this dude is epic. I don't know why. I don't know how he's here, but dude, I
don't know what's going on with Rodon, but he's fucking beastie. You know what I mean? I gotta beat this guy.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like,
yeah, for sure, man. But speaking of Elden Ring and whatnot, that's what I've been finishing up on, dude. I finally made it to the giant mountains pass or whatever. I got up there, and I know there's still a section of the map that I'm missing towards the middle of all that, where Marcella is, or whoever the chick is,
Melina the sword.
Yeah. Like there's still an area. I don't know how to get to her or whatnot.
Yeah, there's actually a another plate. You know how you hold the plate up and the
the two
there's
coins
a secret
or whatever?
plate. So you actually will not get to that area naturally. Do you know that?
Oh, okay.
Like, like every other area you'll get to, like
you gotta really search for it.
It's actually a whole secret zone. So it's actually a secret zone. So like you actually will never explore it if you just keep playing the game normally. You have to find like the secret guy. Like there's this dude in the world. He's literally a secret. So like he's hidden as
he's
like
hidden in certain spots.
And you have to like randomly hit that bush, and he gives you the half of the plate.
I heard he was in a pot too somewhere.
It might be a pot. I don't know what it is, but like he's hidden. But that's what you need in order to get to that zone. So I was lucky because I had found that guy just playing normally. Because I was just, going every nook and cranny through every single part of the zone. But I needed help to find the actual easy piece. Actually, no, I got the easy piece. It's in the mountains.
You need help finding
it. So you actually get the easy piece when you're in the mountains region. So in the region you're in, you'll find one half of the plate you need. And then the other half is that dude hidden in that pot or whatever. You have to go to him. And that will, and then what you do is you go back to the lift, and there'll be like a little dongle where it says hold up plate. If you press like left on the D-pad or whatever, it'll say
you can change plate. Which area you want.
You can change which plate, and you press that, and he'll hold the secret plate up, and that will give you access to Melania's. And then you actually have to go to like this other town, solve a puzzle, and then that activates Melania's zone. It's like crazy, dude.
It's intricate as shit, huh?
It's so intricate, man. Like,
I want to kill her just because I heard her blade is really good, and and I just wanted to be able to get those runes. I think the chick holds like 1 million runes on her or something like that.
Well, I told you, man, she was the one that I had to switch my build up to be.
Yeah, shit. I need to switch my build up for Tish.
Did you?
You still haven't beaten Tish? Nah, I stopped trying after a while. You know what I mean? I moved on. I finally found the mimic tier, and I juiced that one up all the way to 10. And then I just been going through and stuff. I did not know that the mimic tier requires 680 of your health gone in one fell swoop just to use them. I thought it was FP. But
no, so
I'm
it's
also
basically like you trade like basically one of your flask away for it.
right.
What you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm currently trying to go after the Defiler, who's in the Round Table. There's like a Defiler quest, and I need to get these seabed.
Oh yeah,
curses.
yeah, the red guy, yeah.
Yeah,
What's
but
crazy,
I gotta go through all of
them.
the. Did you? You
I
found
actually
5 of them?
found enough of those seedbed curses, but just plain. I didn't have to go even hunt for any more. Like when I was looking at that quest line, I was like, "Oh, you need 5." I opened my bag up and I had 5.
Yeah,
so
5.
Like, oh, so like that works.
Yeah, currently I only have
did that
2.
quest line. Yeah.
I'm also trying to figure out how the hell to change Lindale, Rhinell or whatever that capital, and all the gold area.
Yeah,
or whatever
that will happen. That will all happen after you light the tower. After you beat the fire giant, and you light.
Oh, you're talking about up in the mountains?
Yeah. I actually.
So I gotta burn the thorns just to do that.
Careful. Like you need to be careful by what you do now. Now that you're in the mountain regions, after you beat the fire giant, you'll go up and you'll burn the tree, and that won't change the world yet. But when you burn the tree, it'll teleport you to a whole new zone, and in that zone, when you beat the final boss of that zone, that will unleash changing the capital to ashes.
Oh, okay.
And that's when you can find some new items. But you want to be careful because once you do that, you're locked out of all other endings. You're locked out of all other quest lines. Like if there's anything you wanted to do, you're like locked out of it now. So it's like,
what you mean? Like it won't let you go back to like the very first area, Limgrave or whatever?
No, you can go back, but like the quest lines and stuff will not be there anymore. Like the guys will be dead, or like they'll like won't be available anymore. Like you won't be able to do that seedbed curse anymore. Like some regions you won't be. I don't even know if you can go down to his area anymore after that. I'm not sure.
But yeah, you can. You can get back down to the sewer. There's like a sewer grate that's open that you can drop in on because there's like a plus a health plus like a plus 2 or whatever.
There's just certain things that you can't do. So you just want to make sure that you do everything like you want to do before you like proceed past the fire giant.
Yeah, I've followed like the majority of quests. Like I followed the prophet dude and found the gold face, the sunflower dude, and got him to that guy. I did Ronnie's quest.
That red curse guy, the dung eater. Like I hated his ending. Ugh.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
The world he wants is terrible. You have to just witness it with your own eyes, but it's like, wow.
Yeah, I gotta find out how you're supposed to do the trick so you can see all the different endings or whatever. So like I don't know.
There's 3 trophies. But one of the trophies is like 4 endings.
Okay.
Where like basically like if you just do nothing and you become the Elden Lord, and then you can do the Dung Eater's quest line. And you also become the Elden Lord, but it's like a different world you made.
Okay.
And then you can do the sunflower face guy. He gives you like a different world, and then there's one other one you do that gives you a different world too.
And you make that decision at the very end?
Yes. All 4 of those are any one of those will give you the same trophy. So they actually don't give you 1 trophy each. It's almost like you can just choose which Elden Lord ending you want.
Oh, okay.
And then you have Ronnie's quest line.
Randy's
quest line, which will give you a trophy. And then the very last quest line is the 3 fingers, where you get the madness curse, where you have to go down below the capital all the way to the very, very, very bottom.
Oh, okay.
Look that up. But what's crazy is you have to be careful, but that one's very difficult. See, that's what I did at my New Game Plus on.
Oh yeah.
Because in order to play that ending, it forces you into it. So it's like the other endings, like the one where you can choose the seedbed curse guy or Rannies.
Yeah.
You can reload the game.
Oh,
so you can like basically what you do is right after you finish killing the final boss and you can walk up to end the game. What you do is you shut off your game. You go to your settings, you go to your cloud, and you upload your save to the cloud, and then you shut off auto sync. Okay. So now that save you put in the cloud is what's in the cloud. So now when you play the game again and you beat it and the game tries to save, it won't auto sync to the cloud. So the cloud save is just stuck up there in the cloud now. And then what you do is you go back to your settings, you go to your cloud, you click on the Elden Ring from the cloud and upload it to your console and say, are you sure you want to replace your save file? You go, yeah. and you replace it. And now the save on your console is going to be back to where before you selected an ending. However, so that's how you do all the endings. The thing is, though, when you do the three fingers or the madness ending, you cannot do any other ending. Like all the other endings, even if you did the quest lines, are shut off.
Oh, okay.
So when you go to the end, you only have one choice. Like if you don't have that, if you haven't been touched by the three fingers or whatever, if you haven't been touched by that guy, then when you walk up to the end thing to touch and end it, you see all these different choices that you can pick.
Oh, okay.
Or Ronnie's quest is like a blue like summon sign on the ground.
Yeah.
If you do the three fingers part, you won't see Ronnie's summon sign. And when you walk up to the thing, you won't see the other options. They're all shut off. You're forced into that one ending. So
So can I just like save at that point of when I would pick that pathway so that I can finish that and then
back down there because you can't get back down.
No, I'm saying I can't do like the cloud save thing where I like auto save it and shit so that it doesn't sync with my cloud and then do that whole thing.
Because you have
to. That was good, Legend.
Going on, Legend. Because you have to get the curse, the madness curse, before you get to the end.
Oh, okay.
So once you get to the end,
it would be too much to do basically at that point.
So what you have to do is there's actually a quest line in the game. You have to search this up. It's a long quest line that gives you this needle that you poke into your neck and shuts off the madness. So it opens up the other endings again for you. So what you do is you basically get that needle, get to the end, see the bad ending or whatever, the three fingers, reload it, put the needle in, shut off that ending, do Ronnie's, do the other choices.
Or whatever.
So that's what you did. But I didn't want to deal with that quest line. I was like, I kind of want to play the game through again. So give me an excuse to play through again. I'll just do Ronnie's and like the Elden Lord quest endings, and then I'll go back and do the Three Fingers quest ending in this playthrough. Play it through one more time.
That way you don't got to find the needle.
That way I don't got to deal with the needle bullshit. So I just wanted to kind of like, and I wanted to play it again, and I wanted to give myself a reason to play it again. So I left that ending open.
Okay.
And that's a crazy ending, man. But anyways, like, so you can choose. You can do all of them in one playthrough if you want, or you can kind of do what I did and play it through one more time. Because I burned through it fat. It's like you're so much stronger. You know where everything is at. Like you're like
you're just beelining it to the certain areas because you don't necessarily need certain items anymore. You're pretty set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got every item already, and there's literally they don't change it. So every item you find is the exact same item. Right. So there's no point in hunting anymore. You just remember the bosses you need to fight, and you just beeline it to the end, do the things you need to do to get that curse, and then like go to the end. And that's what I did to platinum it. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, have you been playing anything else though this week?
Yeah, so I've been done with Elden. I haven't fired that game back up. Like I'm done. Like there really isn't anything else I can do in that world. I've depleted it.
Yeah, you platinumed it, so you're
platinumed it. So there isn't anything else.
DLC,
it's so crazy. Yeah, I'm actually waiting for DLC. True. Yeah, DLC is gonna be sick. Man. But anyways, like I see a lot of people, man. They still play that game. Like they still farm every weapon. I'm like, why? I don't understand. Like it's so crazy to me. But
no. We're talking about Elden Ring.
Basically, not Age of Empires 4. I've been playing Tunic, so I basically this music you got playing in the background is kind of like Tunic is really good. It's a really excellent game. I highly recommend it. It's like the Death's Door of this year.
Nice.
I think Death's Door might be just like this. They're very similar. Maybe Death's Door is a little better. I don't know. They're so good. Both of them are so good that it's hard for me to even pick a winner. I'd probably just lean towards Death's Door because I liked the setting and ambiance and kind of like feeling of that world just a scooch better. But Tunic is like, I mean, masterclass in level design, just brilliant level design. They steal things from like Fez, or like sometimes the world spins.
To give you a different angle.
Yeah, to give you a different angle. Like there's hidden paths. There's like a copious amount of hidden paths. So many things in Tunic to discover. And so
you missing out on Elden Ring, bro. You gotta get up on that, man.
Yeah, Elden
Ring
Ring
changer.
Game of a decade type game. Like a game like this doesn't come around but like once a decade kind of, like really great. But Tunic is like, it's excellent, man. Like the combat's a lot of fun. I do think like sometimes the boss fights are a little annoying, but it does seem like literally everything in the game there's some kind of gimmick to figure out. Like if you can kind of figure out the gimmick, then
you got the boss or whatever the issue.
Yeah, but if you can't do the gimmick, it can be a real challenge, man. Like if you don't know like what to do.
So they basically like puzzles in.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like it feels like normal combat, but if you figure out like the boss is kind of like gimmick, then you can kind of like, you know, it's much easier. But like it's just very it's like a Zelda Dark Souls. So they have like little bonfires kind of as you move forward in the game. You get like bonfires and like it resets the world. So when you rest, all the enemies reset. What's pretty cool though, man, is some things proceed through death, proceed through everything. Like when you chop down leaves or chop down trees, it doesn't matter if it was
slowly
like a zone.
grow back.
No, you go back to that zone, and those exact trees you chop down are still gone. Like the game remembers every stone you chopped, every tree you cut will stay gone for like the whole game. Like it's pretty interesting. Like it's persistent, right? Like so the impact you have on the world like sticks. It's really neat. I really enjoy it. It's just enough challenge to not make you pull your hair out. I think the only thing it's really missing, of course, it's not Elden Ring, but it's a really wonderful game. It's a very, very good game. If I hadn't played Elden Ring, it might even be one of my favorites this year. That's how good Elden Ring is, because this is a very good game. And after playing Elden Ring, I still feel like, gosh, this is just lacking.
It can't even shine Elden Ring shoes. Good. Man.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. As good as the game as Tunic is, and it's a really wonderful game. Like if you played it, I think you'd see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like it's a really.
I'm gonna play
game.
It. That's one of those I wanted to play.
Like I said, it's a masterclass in level design. It's really beautiful looking. It's got a fun combat system. I really enjoy the combat. I think the character moves a tad slower than I wish he did. That's one thing I like about Death's Door that got kind of really moved when you walked. You didn't have to hold like a button down or anything. So that makes it a little bit more of a challenge to fight, which makes it a little clunkier, in my opinion, than Death's Door. But it's a wonderful game. It's easy, 8.8 out of 10, almost a 9. Like it's easy, almost a 9 level game. I highly recommend it. But yeah, after playing Elden Ring, it's just it doesn't quite hit like Elden Ring, but I'm enjoying it like a good game. You know? I can't say anything bad about it.
Okay,
a lot of fun.
That's what's up. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of those on my list that I wanted to check out. And since it's on Game Pass, you know what I mean? That'll be one thing I want to grab. And yeah, man, Legend, them graphics cards, man, are crazy. But I mean, if you got an Xbox or, you know, a PlayStation or something like that, man, that'd be where it's at. You know what I mean? You don't got to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, just get an S, dude.
To get you an S, and then
just get an S. Find an S on offer. I think
Mark to like Australia or something like that to get the game codes for the Xbox for like $30.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the game codes.
Yeah.
Funny, dude. Yeah.
Hell no, man! You ain't gonna be messing up my saves, bro. Okay, the slim joint, Yeah, unfortunately, it might be time for that upgrade, especially with these prices on everything and these damn bots scooping up everything. But, you know.
Yeah, like you could find a Xbox Series S which will play all the new games for like $250 probably on OfferUp. I mean,
get it used. eBay. You know what I mean?
And that's going to be, 60 FPS. Like you're going to be gaming as good as like a high-end PC would for $200. I mean, you can't really get... I mean, if you can't do that, then I mean, there's no way to get into gaming, modern gaming. I think that's the cheapest way. If you want to get into current gen gaming, then Xbox Series S, like that's the cheapest possible way to do it. Even more so than PCs are way too expensive compared to that.
Yeah, for sure. I got you guys though. But yeah, man. But we got a few things to talk about today. We got some Game Pass information. Some more, slightly Elden Ring information, more like some From Software stuff. And then, basically some, some Xbox stuff, we got some price changes going on, things of that nature. So, before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and get into this intro. So this is We Love Gaming Podcast episode 95, I believe. And let's start off with the first topic of the day. Brandon Sanderson. He's an author of a few books, a couple of series called Mistborn, Stormlight Chronicles. Great author. A lot of great series under his belt, man. He's really good. One of my favorites. Some of my favorite stories that I've ever read. And he just recently was doing like a live stream, and he got this package in that he opened up on live, and it was from Elden Ring, and they basically gave him like the whole shebang, the sword, the cloak, the game, the book, the statue, all of that shit. And then they put like a message in there that was saying that maybe we'd hope to work with you someday or something like that. He was like, it seems like he just started going off like, hell yeah, man, I want to work with you guys. Like, I got all these ideas and stuff like that. And it seems like he kind of went into a tangent, like maybe he's got an issue with George R.R. Martin or something, but he was kind of like, yo, you guys hired, you guys did a collab with this fool, and he didn't even play video games. Like, I played all your shit. Like, I know how you guys work, and I got ideas, man. Like, I could give you guys a lot of stuff or whatever. And even though it seemed like, in this article that he was kind of shading George R.R. Martin, and I'm probably gonna have to go back and like find his live and then see exactly what he's talking about. But besides like the shading part, man, the opportunity, if like the chance that he gets to do a story with From Software, Bandai Namco, to create like another like an Elden Ring successor or something else that's in that realm, man, that would be ill. Because I'm telling you, like, the worlds that this guy creates are really good, and I don't think he would be the one to like, oh, I'll just write you guys like a like an origin story, or I'll just give you guys like some basic lore and you guys take it from there. I feel like he would be with them like every step of the way to like progress this story. It might be like an epic story. But how do you feel about it, Ray? Like Brandon Sanderson, man, and From Software.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson, he's a goat, man. He may not be like the absolute best like storyteller or author like in history, but he is awesome for fans because he works, man. He's a workhorse. Like, he puts in work. There's no author out there other than him that is always really constantly releasing books. He gives like his fans updates, like percentages on when his books are done, and he's always working on them. There isn't these long gaps like with other authors. For instance, George R.R. Martin, there's been like years, like multiple years, like 7-8 years since the last book. Man. Brandon Sanderson isn't like that. Like, he's always going to be consistent. And so like, and like that for me excites me because I know like he'll give it his all. Like, if he's gonna go into this, he's gonna give it 100%, and he's gonna make sure that it comes out exactly how he.
Dude, we might get a From Software game that actually has storyline that you don't have to like figure the lore out. Like, it's given to you in the game,
But like, you were looking for what he said about George R.R. Martin. He says, so From Software decides to make a fantasy game and partner with a fantasy novelist, right? And they choose someone who spends his days blogging about the NFL rather than the person who has played their games since King's Field. So that's what he's most pissed off about, is that they went with someone who's never even played a single one of their games, or who doesn't even play video games. And so it's like,
he's not a true fan, He's
not a true fan. Yeah, exactly. But the problem is George R.R. Martin is like highly popular from the Game of Thrones series, and so that was the wise choice from Elden Ring. I think that's a big reason why they sold so many copies of this game, and
because
why
of the name,
the best-selling game since like Call of Duty, which is incredible for a Souls game. Like, they don't sell like that, not even close to that.
Never have.
So I think,
and it's crazy because they haven't really changed the formula. Like, they kept saying formula, but it just sold way more than Dark Souls 3, even though
exactly. Like, I don't even
just
really
as good a damn game.
I'm like curious as to like, exactly. Like, Dark Souls 3 is like, you would love it just as much, pretty much, or Bloodborne or any of those From Software games.
Right.
I don't really even know, to be honest, what George R.R. Martin added, because I feel like Elden Ring story is super similar to like Dark Souls. Like,
I feel like it's given the same way. Like, You know what I mean? Like you see all the little bits and pieces of lore in the items, like you've always seen them. You have the little stories that are surrounding like each boss, and I don't know what exactly he gave that was different.
Like even conceptually, like in the Dark Souls games, like you're trying to ascend the throne and you're killing.
That's
like
all you're doing. You're trying to become the Lord.
You're killing these demon gods along the way that are giving you like their soul. This is the same exact thing. Except you're getting their rune, you're getting their great runes, their soul, and like you're trying to kill the very last, guy to rekindle the light again. Like it's the exact same thing.
You're lighting bonfires called graces. Like it's all the same shit.
I don't really exactly know like what he added to this story. But if Brandon Sanderson was involved, you would notice it. I think like you would.
It would probably be completely different. Maybe I don't know.
Like it would permeate throughout the game. Like, oh, this is totally what Brandon Sanderson is like a master at is creating. He's a great magic user. Like he creates the greatest magic systems. Like just the coolest and most unique magic systems. It mentions really like Mistborn and Stormlight. They have some of the dopest magic systems, and he's very detailed, explaining you how the magic systems work, and like that's just one of the funnest parts. And so he says he says he already has an idea. It's not like, oh, they've asked me, now I'm going to develop one. No, he's already had ideas for
and been writing on it.
And been writing on it. So like I can't wait, man. And like what's cool about this too is that because it was From Software reaching out to him, it makes me think it will happen. It's not like he's wishing, like, it's not just like, I wish they had reached out to me. What a bummer. No, they literally did. Like, they're the ones that made the connection to him. And because he's so gung-ho about it, I can't imagine why they wouldn't. So I do believe this is actually will happen someday. I believe.
Yeah, I think it's possible. And Legend, man, we could definitely have that discussion, but I feel like we would need our brainiac on computers in the pod with us to have that one. I feel like Mark would have a lot to add on Intel versus AMD. I think AMD would probably be better for gaming, but that's what I've been told and stuff like that. So maybe next week if you jump in.
I've always understood that Intel is better in like most facets, but
for like all around, right?
Yeah, like it's going to do everything better than AMD. However, AMD are going to be much more affordable. So you kind of get like the same exact power almost basically for like a much affordable price, much cheaper price. So like I always go AMD. Like AMD is usually what I almost always go with because you get more bang for your buck with AMD in my opinion.
But yeah, man, dude, it would be crazy to experience like a brand new Brandon Sanderson story within like the world of a Souls-like game. That would be phenomenal.
We're gonna see it, man. It's not like
it's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah, we are going to, I think, man.
Because he wants to do it, so it's like nothing's better than somebody who wants to work with you and is already cooking up ideas. It's like, all right, please pitch them to me. Like, make my job easier. Like, give me an example of the world and description, and then I'll make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that'll be super easy for them to come up with it.
Like, George R. R. Martin is more popular than Brandon Sanderson, but Brandon Sanderson is growing too, man. He has like almost just as many like reviews on some of his books, like the Stormlight Archive.
I just feel like if he had a show, then he'd be more like in everybody's home. You know what I mean? Like everybody would know about him. But because he doesn't have a show, you really got to be an avid reader in order to know. But the people who know. You know what I mean? So I think regardless, right? Even if nobody really knew Brandon Sanderson, except for the people who just read his books and he had a small following or whatever, I feel like just From Software's name itself would sell it. So
well, and also because I think Elden Ring has been such a success, they don't need that any longer.
Even more, yeah.
Like, they don't need a name to push them over anymore. Like they got that from George R. Now they're just like a household name. I feel like they're going to be a household name like Activision now. Like everyone's going to know about From Software now. Or before it was a little bit more like a little more obscure. Like a lot of people knew about them, but it was more like I don't really know anything about them. Whatever. Now it's like everyone knows what's up.
Let me ask you something real quick before we move to the next topic. How would you feel about never getting another book from the King Killer Chronicles, but you got a game, and it was like a continuation of the story. Like it's not, they don't redo all of the stuff that you've already read. It's a continuation of the story from then on, and Quoth is on a mission.
They tell book
yes,
3
they tell book game? 3, but in a video game. How would you feel about that?
Man, that's interesting. I actually think I probably would prefer the book. Funny enough.
Really? You would want the book more?
I don't know, man.
Because it's taking that guy forever, man. What's the author's name? I can't remember. It's not Will Wright, right?
Patrick Rothfuss.
Patrick Rothfuss. Yes.
Yeah.
It's taking them too long, dude. Just give them the snippets and let somebody run with that with a game, dude. Like it would be an amazing world, man. And we would finally
there's so much that I want to know. There's just so much that I want to know from that world that I don't know if a game could like explain it well enough to me that I think. But I hear what you're saying. It's not an easy choice. Like it's not clear and cut. Like a game would be sick too because
to finally see adaptation, a live action
badass,
or like a moving adaptation of Quoth would be ill. For sure. Man. But moving on to the next topic we have, Game Pass. So it was just released probably a few days ago of some of the games that will be coming out to Game Pass. And I know before that there was like a freaking rumor of some games, and man, that list looked way better than this shit right here. But I've always hated Dragon Age too. I haven't liked it. So I can give a shit about this game. Garden Warfare, I've never really been a big fan of the Plants vs. Zombie stuff, but I feel like this game is like mad fucking old, and that they gave it to us for free at some point. Like they put it on Game Pass at some point, and it came off, or like I have it for free on PS Plus Network or something like that. But it's whatever. Squadrons. I guess they're really just focused on cloud this time because we've been had access to Squadrons. I feel like.
Yeah, we did.
Cricket? I don't know who the fuck's playing cricket, but
isn't that so funny, dude? Cricket.
I can't say you got it now.
There must be a series of this thing, dude. This is
22. Yeah, 22 is crazy, man. I didn't know cricket was going that long. They might just be like just fronting on everybody, and it's just they only named 22 because it came out in 2022. So
I know, but it makes it seem like it's the new updated one. You get the new updated. Whoa, I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, you get all the updated cricket players and shit.
All the new cricket players.
No offense to all the cricket players and whatnot.
You know what I mean? Following that sport, man.
But yeah,
I get to play Ish McGiggins, dude. Oh, I've been waiting to play Ish McGiggins for so long.
Oh man, you get to rise to the top of the cricket league.
New rookie, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then they added MLB the Show 22. So it's like, hey, they keep adding those sports games to the roster, man. Like, if you love sports games, Game Pass is for sure for you, dude. Because they throw every fucking thing on there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is the newest one, day one release. So when this thing launches,
it's going on there. Oh, that's interesting.
Crazy.
Okay, so they must have had a lot of love from MLB Show 21.
They must be paying a lot of money.
It must have been a lot of love.
Yeah,
man. So then there's another one that they added, Chinatown Detective Agency. I haven't heard of that, but I'm assuming that's like a third party, like a indie game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be one for the wife, right? You're right, because I know your wife likes these detective ones.
Detective stuff, yeah, like on some Sherlock Holmes type shit.
Yeah, so this one I thought was like detective. Let me see here.
I might have to peep it.
Detective Agency. I thought this one was kind of neat. They were saying. So this one might be okay. It's got like it's a 70 on Metacritic. So
on Metacritic,
above average.
So it's like okay.
So it's like okay. So interesting. So that might be okay. I mean, Life is Strange is dope, right? I mean, these games are always cool.
I don't know. I feel like this was one of those that it was kind of like I didn't really care. Like I haven't really. I haven't really been into the Life is Strange series, so like. I'm lost in it, so maybe it'll be dope or whatever. But I feel like the whole the drama video games or whatever. I haven't played any of the Life is Strange.
Oh, dude, I was like really pleasantly surprised by that game. It kind of shocked me, like what it ended up actually being.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa, that was sick. And it was like really, really sick. I'm not kidding. Like it looks like pretty lame and like kind of like something I wouldn't be into just seeing the cover. It seems like a drama or something like that. But it isn't. It's more like Powers. It's definitely more like it might surprise you, man. Anyways, so like
all right, so I mean I might give it a chance then, you know, since it's free, you know what I mean? If I got the time and I don't have anything to play, I might give it a go.
I bet you would like it. I bet you money you would like it. You'd probably find it sick because you like those gimmicky kind of like cool ideas.
Yeah. And then another one that they're putting on there is Lost in Random. And I remember we saw this one a while back. I can't remember if it was like what event or whatever it was shown at, but it had something to do with like a turn-based you know, dice type of mechanic or something like that you've got. So that one seemed like it might be pretty cool. So the fact that we get it for free, you know what I mean? It's an indie game. That'll be definitely worth some time. Well, actually that's EA. So that's not really.
Yeah, we saw that at the EA event. I think at like E3 or something, and that was like one of the only cool games EA kind of showed. I was kind of interested into it because I kind of like the card game stuff and the mechanics of the cards.
Right.
And so
right.
like seeing where you like play it, like the combat was kind of like turn based. I was like, wow, that actually looks really neat. And so I'm glad I didn't buy it. That's the thing about Game Pass, man. Game Pass makes me never want to buy a game because it always
you don't know. You don't know if you spend the money and then it's just like it's coming out in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? On Game Pass, you're like, damn,
you know that, like, you know that
bones on that shit.
I know, dude. Like, it's like, dang, I'm glad I didn't freaking buy that game. I was kind of interested in it. Like, you know that one game coming out? What is it? Yomi. That new they showed a little, I think I State of Play or something like that showed it. It was like a black and white samurai
the one
game.
that looks like damn. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The sword fighting, the samurai shit.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds you of the one I'm having brain farts on that shit.
Yeah, Trek to Yomi.
Ghost, Ghost of Tsushima. It looked like a far away shot of like Ghost of Tsushima and like black and white.
It looked pretty sick though, right? Like kind of like a Metro.
Yeah, it looked like it'd be cool. Yeah.
It's called Trek to Yomi. That's coming to Game Pass.
Is that?
Like you can already. I was on my Xbox and it was downloadable to early.
Oh, you can do it early
now. Okay. So you can play it day one. It's like, dude, man, freaking Microsoft. If there's an indie game, man, that even has like the slightest bit of buzz. Like they calling that dev up and they're just giving them an offer to get it. Like every single indie that has like any sort of buzz, like Tunic, anything that anyone's watching, Weird West, any indie that has any buzz related, like that looks interesting. It's
is Weird West already out?
Yeah, it's on.
Game Pass right I gotta download that so I can check it out, man. I've been stuck on Elden Ring so damn long, so
it's just crazy how like. They have like, you know, like some type of like indie team in the back corner
just hunting for the gems.
Yeah, tracking all the ones that are gems, and they're just cherry picking those indie games.
Yeah, I wonder if Sifu is ever gonna hit Game Pass.
Well, that's a PlayStation exclusive, so I mean, at some point.
But do you think it's like a timed? Because it's not made from PlayStation Studios.
I bet you it's timed. Yeah, so maybe at some point.
I think it's timed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like one of those that would be perfect for Game Pass, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a total Game Pass game for sure.
Yeah. So Lost in Random. 2 more. I know nothing about these two. Panzer Corps 2 and the Dungeon of Nahelbuek. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Chicken Edition.
We'll call it the Chicken Edition. Yeah.
The problem is I don't really play too many games on my PC, unfortunately, so I probably will never see these.
But this is this like PC only though, or did this already come out on console and they're just now putting it on PC?
Yeah, whatever it is, the update this month for these games is for PC. So that might mean exclusive, or that might mean that it's just being updated for that medium. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
for sure.
So.
Yeah, so I mean that's what's coming up soon on Game Pass. So, you know, it's not bad. Like I said, the only one that really caught my eye in this whole selection was Lost in Random. Maybe Life is Strange will be like one of those
this is
sleepers
a good one.
that, you know, that I might check out or whatnot. But yeah, so, you know, hopefully if you guys have Game Pass, you get a chance. You know what I mean? At least check those 2 out. Don't fucking play Dragon Age, dude. Don't waste your time on Dragon Age. Just play the other 2, man. Save yourself.
You're gonna enjoy these.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not gonna
but
enjoy these, right?
since we're on the topic of Game Pass, I'm gonna call an audible and let's talk about the Xbox Live with Gold being dismissed. Like they're taking that shit out completely. And they're changing the prices around on this stuff. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this, man, because they're taking like they've always had like this Xbox Live Gold, right? This ass type of subscription that's giving you like 360 games. Like, why the fuck do we even have this around?
And so you can play online, right? So
right. It's basically it's like what PS Plus has been for like the longest, right? Except you get way more with PS Plus subscription, than you do with this Xbox Live Gold. But I think the price is, I think the price is pretty comparable with Xbox Live Gold's price and what PS Plus is when you get down to the nitty gritty of buying a bulk for the year or whatever. But they're taking that completely away and they're making Game Pass Ultimate prices. So, you're starting at you're getting Game Pass and then it's starting off at $15. So they're essentially increasing your floor price of everything. And then slowly ramping it up from there. But how do you feel, man? I don't know how this is gonna go over with some of the people that are in these other countries, these foreign countries that might literally just be sticking to the Xbox Live subscription. That's all they really use. You know what I mean? And now they have to adjust and pay more. That kind of sucks.
This is interesting. This is a similar situation to the PlayStation situation for people who were subscribed. For instance, I think Mark said that his buddy Squid or
was
whatever,
just doing PlayStation
he liked
Now.
just PS Now only, and he wasn't a PS Plus subscriber. So if he wanted to retain his PS Now, he actually had to go to the premium service. So he was actually going to see an $8 increase just to retain the service that he only uses. And so I think that's kind of ridiculous. So, but for me, this doesn't change at all for us. I think both of us are already Ultimate users, and I always recommend Ultimate to everybody. But I do always say that you can get Game Pass for $10. Now that's going away. So the only way you can get Game Pass now is the $15. And so this is like a pseudo price increase that isn't a price increase because there's already a tier that
it's already bundling it.
It already exists. They're just getting rid of some of the other things and just having one choice.
Right.
So it's a price increase for some and not for others. So which is actually interesting because I think at some point in time I would expect this to increase in price at some point in time because
they're just giving away too much stuff.
They're giving away too much stuff that I can't even fathom how they can retain it at this price already. So I just expect it to go to 20 at some point.
How is this profitable,
Yeah, it's probably stick at 20 for a long time. But I do think 15 is a steal. So even though this is going up,
everything that you're getting along with that price hike is still reasonable.
I agree. That's exactly right. Yeah, we're that's why I feel a little different with this than I did with the PS Plus situation because I don't feel like what they're making you buy is reasonable. Right, they're giving you a jank service.
They're giving you access to PS3 games and shit like that.
They're just giving you old games that no one wants to play. So they're giving you, but with Xbox, they're making you go into a plan that's dope as F, man. It's so awesome.
Right,
the Game Pass, you won't be mad. It's you're mad because you're paying probably $8 more a month now, but you're getting access to the whole entire world of games in Xbox.
You're getting a way larger and more updated library than you've ever had if you were only sticking with the Xbox Live Gold.
Right. So I think they're kind of making you see the light here, forcing you to see the light.
Yeah, you've got to conform.
You got to conform. Yeah, you're forced to conform, but you'll be happy you did, kind of thing, right? Because we're making it worth your while, and it legitimately means that. And I think moving into next year, the end of this year and in next year, you're going to see first party games coming out in plethoras because Microsoft has so many first parties right now. And with the addition of Activision, you're gonna just see more and more games come out, and you're gonna just be really happy you have Game Pass. And
for sure. Right now it's pretty slow, because we just getting announcements here and there, for the last year or two of what's coming, You know what I mean? And it's just taking a slow roll. But yeah, all of these businesses that they're acquiring that produce things yearly is what's going to boost it way more. You know what I mean? All of those yearly games that you purchase, they're coming out, you know, for free, you know, on day one. So that at least you have that stuff to expect. Like, I hope that, you know, I feel like COD's going to continue it's you know, it's thing, you know, and keep releasing a new game every year and whatnot, because that's his bread and butter. So that's, at least you have that to look forward to, is that you're guaranteed at least one new game every year.
Well, you're guaranteed a lot of new games, but you're guaranteed one that you know for certain, like, you're addicted and wanting.
Right.
Because it seems like everyone under the sun like plays COD. I don't anymore. At one point we did, but it just seems like that's one game that you know everyone is playing and wants, and that's going to be for free on Game Pass, you know. And so, like, and you're going to get every single map update, every single DLC update. You're going to get all of it for free with Game Pass. Yeah. So, like, maybe even that one game, you know, when you buy those coupon books and you're like looking at the coupon book and you come across that one coupon, you're like, oh,
the one food restaurant or something.
Yeah, like this one, the one free pizza or whatever. Like, dang, this one coupon alone pays for the whole book. I'll buy the book. Like, I feel like
the rest are just freebies. You know, I might try
the rest are just freebies. Exactly. Like, I feel like that's what COD is. Like, COD alone will probably pay for itself. Everything they give you for free from that will probably be like your $120 or whatever, $150 a year, like that you're paying, 100 whatever it is. That's going to be like covering it, and like everything else, the whole library is for free after that. And you're like, dang, this is such a great deal. Yes, sign me up for that coupon book. Give me 3 of them. Right? It's like, you know, like, I just feel like it's not as bad as it looks on face because of what they're giving you.
Right. Yeah. And you know, just like you said before, for the majority of us who already have like the Game Pass, you know, subscription or whatnot, this is going to be just like, you know, PlayStation making their move and upgrading, you know, their PlayStation Plus. Like, it's not going to affect us because we were already in it, you know, bottom tier or whatever didn't change. You know what I mean? The Game Pass Ultimate didn't change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really affecting us. But yeah, it's just different for those people that are in different countries where certain things are just completely locked and they're only able to just buy the games and you know, and do certain things.
Yeah, that's an angle I hadn't thought about, actually, when you mentioned that. Like, I hadn't thought about other countries. I really don't know how it will affect other countries. You're right, because they might be locked in situations like that.
Yeah, Brazil and shit like that.
Yeah, my perspective is really coming from like North American kind of Western perspective, the sense that you're getting a lot for your money for $15. And what do you think too about the notion of kind of like, it's funny, like Sony just announced like a new tier system, and Microsoft is like announcing we're done with tiers now. It's like, okay, we're past that. Once again, you're already behind. We just want one price, one tier only. It's just funny how like they immediately counter. Like, so
that, and then they had also talked about the family, right? The family plan where you can get everybody in on that. Yeah,
so we're gonna probably get a deal either way, because I'm sure.
So I mean, you know, if you're in one of those countries where, you know, Xbox Live was just like, you know, was more viable than, you know, getting the Ultimate or something like that, you might be able to get the family plan with your boys over there. You know, y'all just huddle together, you know, and everybody, you know, pitches in 5 or something like that, and you able to get Ultimate family plan, and how everybody got, you know, the Ultimate package, and it's good, you know, that can be dope. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you know, so not too much, not too crazy for us in North America, but maybe it'll be something that affects a lot of people, you know, in other countries and whatnot. But, you know, still interesting that they would decide to finally get rid of that trash. You know, I'll be glad to no longer see that live gold on my shit. You know what I mean? It's like so annoying, man. Just, you got 360 games on there. Just put them bitches in my library and call it a day. Don't make me download them shits. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that.
I know that they're not even worth the button pressing, man.
Nah. I feel like they should just like stop that altogether. You know what I mean? It's just on Game Pass, you know, and because it's our first party, it'll always be on there. Okay,
I agree. Just put it on Game Pass, man. I agree.
Just leave it there. Yeah. But
So
moving on to the next topic, we have Crystal Dynamics, who are the developers for Tomb Raider, and they were in talks of a deal with Unreal Engine 5. So we got another substantial IP that's been around for a long time that's deciding to do a deal with Epic. You know what I mean? And working on Unreal Engine 5. So, I mean, we've already seen tons of videos of what Unreal Engine 5 can do, and they were amazing. So, to have an adventure type of game like Tomb Raider, you know, on Unreal Engine 5 should be a beautiful thing. You know, seeing freaking The Witcher on Unreal Engine 5 should be a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And I think I saw a video where there was like some Unreal Engine video or whatever, you know, like a demo or something like that, and they had some stuff that was like Easter eggs in there for The Witcher, but they were like pristine. And so I think one of the Witcher developers or whatever had saw that, and it was like, oh, okay, this is like you telling us that you could do our shit better. Like, so, you know, so like we'll go ahead and use you, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I mean it's cool, it's exciting to find that games are gonna come out with, you know, with an engine that can possibly make things look way more realer, way more beautiful. You know what I mean? That's always gonna be good. You know, how do you feel about this? I mean, Tomb Raider is a solid IP.
Yeah, I think like remember when they had that that Unreal Engine 5 demo and we were just gawking over it. Like,
yeah, I wanted that game, dude. I wanted to play that game.
And we were like saying that we really hope that developers switch over to Unreal 5. Dude, like I feel like this is exactly what we want.
This is it. Yeah, they're slowly going over.
Yeah, like I don't know why more developers don't use it. I know like a lot of developers like
you got to get percentages and stuff.
Yeah, so you want to use your own engine, whatever. But dude, the engine is so high quality. You're telling me like I'm even telling you like, okay, as much as I love Elden Ring, are you telling me Elden Ring wouldn't have been 100 times even cooler if it was on Unreal 5? Because there's some jank. That From Software engine's a little janky, right? Like it looks a little old last gen. Like it needs to be changed. The game is a 10, but right. But I mean that come on, man. Like,
but if you were able to splash like beautiful graphics on top of that,
dude,
like
yeah, like
you know
like,
what I mean,
wow,
4K resolution up in that bitch, like yeah, that would be crazy, man.
Yeah, exactly. So like this is really cool that a big developing team, a big developer team who has their own engine, who's made is going to use Unreal Engine 5's engine. Like that's a really cool development. I hope like they pave the way. I hope it looks so dang good that like the other developers are jealous, you know, like Bethesda, because
dude, that's exactly what I was thinking, dude. If Bethesda would just take Unreal Engine into their house and use it, it could change the game, man. Like there's always a like, you know, Bethesda used their own engine. Like, oh, okay, this is the same engine that they've used because it just looks the same way every time. It has the same issues every time. It's like, dude, how many bugs did you have to fix, and you still got giving me the same shit? Like, why haven't you changed it? You know what I mean? And they always say that, oh, they just like revamped the engine a little. Nah, you didn't do shit to that engine. That shit's still producing the same way. Like, I agree, you need to do more.
It might look a little sharper, but if you look at that engine, Fallout 4 versus like Oblivion, I'm talking about like PS2, PS3, like they look identical in like functionality.
It just looks like it got a bit of an upgrade.
It just got like a little like it's a little sharper on the edges, but dude, it's the same exact junk. There's still the ragdoll physics. Like everything is like the exact same thing. Like get a new engine. Where Unreal always feels like it's an upgrade. Like when you go from 4 to 5, like you feel it.
And it's just so many different things that you can do with that engine. You know what I mean? Like you have so many different looks. I mean, freaking Fortnite is built on that. You know what I mean? That don't look real at all, but you know what I'm saying? It just looks good. Exactly, you know? Exactly. So I mean, you can go any way with that. So I feel like if some of these big groups just got on Unreal Engine, you know what I mean? That would fix like a lot of like. I couldn't imagine how Elden Ring would be. I know, seeing cool, like light particles and stuff like that on Unreal Engine 5. Like,
you should look at
dragon fights and stuff like that on Unreal Engine 5 would be crazy, dude.
You should check it out. Like our audience should look it up too. Like there's like a team building World of Warcraft's Orgrimmar, the Horde capital city in Unreal Engine 5. Like it looks like a whole different game. Because you know the cartoony graphics or whatever are wild.
Yeah.
Like imagine Unreal 5. Like it's like you're like, what the
heck? If you could look at the orcs and the gnomes and stuff like that, and they got, you know, their faces glistening from sweat and different things, like, you know, like if you could really see the graphics on these guys, it would be nuts, man. It would look so damn good.
Yeah, it's like I kind of want to see if I can find it. Because like this is like a, you know, proof of concept, right? Like like this is like where like you show the world where you're like, oh my gosh, dude, like this is definitely what we want to see moving forward, right? Like it's because
maybe put it on X2 or something. Put it on
It's so drastic. Like it's the like look at this. Look at this world, dude. Like that doesn't even look like WoW anymore. It's just like so different.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. It looks like it's skipping a lot. I don't know if it's probably moving smooth on yours, but it just looks like it's skipping a lot.
You can't see the world. Okay. Well, I wanted to try. I know it's pumping out a high res here, but it's just like jaw dropping. Like it's just crazy. I don't know if you can see the pause screen or not.
Yeah, I see all the details and stuff, man.
In the background, all the details. Like this is just like on a whole nother level than what WoW currently is. And I'm just like, for me, when I see this, like, oh my gosh, I wish more developers, I just wish more would use this engine. They've built something amazing here. And so I'm just excited. I've played every single Tomb Raider game that Crystal Dynamics has made. Like they've really nailed it with the new Tomb Raider games. And so I know it's going to be fun. And now I know it's going to look like incredible. So
yeah, I'm slacking on the Tomb Raider, man. I didn't play the last one, the Shadow one.
Yeah, I played that one.
So
that was good.
I gotta check that one out. I'm sure it's probably on Game Pass or was at some point.
Actually, it might be, or it might have been a PS Plus game or something, right?
Yeah, it could be a PS Plus. I think it was a PS Plus game at one point in time.
So you probably have it in your library.
Yeah, for sure,
good, man. It's dope. You'll like it.
Yeah. So moving on to the last topic that we got, man. Lego and Epic Games, you know, Epic again. They've been getting together and they have this idea of trying to build this like family friendly VR world. You know, and it seems like it might be interesting. It also does seem like it's like the way of Lego to try to get in on some hype, you know, getting in on the VR aspect and whatnot. In some ways, I'm kind of like on the fence about this one because in some ways, you know, I see it being like big, you know what I mean? Like if I think about this in a profit sense, like Lego is awesome. And a lot of the stuff that they do, like if you're in a virtual world and you're able to build Legos that are like life size, you know, they're as big as you're putting shit together, you know, you build yourself a Lego castle and you're able to walk in or whatever. And you have all this, you know, Lego cars and different things like that you could possibly get into and stuff. I feel like that world would be pretty dope to get into. But at the same time, this article makes it seem like it's really, really trying to focus in on kids. So, you know, it's trying to hit like that like Roblox pocket or something like that. Like real young kids. And that kind of worries me in a bit too, because, you know, Roblox has had his issue, you know, where like it was for kids, but, you know, adults find their way in there. And like this world, you know, VR world and stuff like that, like I feel like, you know, adults would find their way in there to do stuff in there. And, you know, and there's going to be some sketchy shit going on in here dealing with these kids, and I don't know how they're going to regulate that. So I'm kind of like a little worried about that. But, you know, on the other hand, it's like, you know what I mean, this would be a game changer, you know what I mean, building a lot of things, you know, getting together. Like this would be something that I would want to do. I love Legos, so if I was able to go into a VR world and, you know, and build some shit and you're actually seeing it, you get to use it, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. And you buy blocks or Legos or something like that. You know, you buy pieces and you're able to put those pieces together however you want, you know, to create something, and you get to like keep that and use that in that world. That would be dope. That would lead to like a shit ton of customization and just like really unique stuff that you would come across, you know, one of ones and stuff like that. But how do you feel about this, man?
Yeah, I agree with you in a lot of ways. I do think this is like two titans in the game world coming together. It's going to be probably nothing but successful. But I also really have a hard time with this marketing towards kids so much. You know, like I feel like that, you know, as a parent, you can just say my kid won't play that, right? You know, whatever. But dude, the world is changing, man. Like the kids are going to be living on their devices. They're living in front of their computer screens.
If they're not already, you know what I mean?
If they're not already. And that kind of stuff frightens me the more and more that you detach your kid from this world. Like a video game detaches you to some degree, but VR, dude, this is a VR experience. Like this is like major detachment. And I mean, even as adults, man, we have a hard time controlling our urges. Like we get addicted. You saw the loot box craze, you know, everyone was like losing tons of money. A kid can't control, man. Like they have a really hard time controlling, you know, what they get addicted to. And just, it's kind of like, I don't like the marketing towards kids so much. Like, but there's so much money in it. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Like, this is like where the money is. Like,
that's the pocket. Kids sell, dude. Like
kids is like the money is like insane. Like that's what made Star Wars awesome is they sold the toys, right? Like, I mean, just everything about like you want to, I get it. So like you want to market towards kids, but even like as a father, you know, and like just thinking about kids and how they're so formative, you know, at the age that they're marketing here, like you mentioned, 4 or 5 years old, really young. Yeah. I just, I don't agree 100% like with doing this. Like, I wish they would, like, I wish it was more like you mentioned, just market it to like everyone, like adults too. Like you said, you would enjoy it. Like, why did we have to like market like highly addictive things to like kids who can't control their addiction levels yet? It's kind of like, this isn't cigarettes, but you know when they used to market towards cigarettes towards kids a lot, and like that became illegal.
Bubblegum flavors,
like bubblegum flavors and stuff. It's like, you know, like there's something.
Do you ever remember the pack of gum that you could get? It looked like a cigarette box, and then you could open it up and you could pull one out, and then you could just like blow on it, and it would blow smoke out like the little dust or whatever.
I do. I remember that, dude. You're right, and like absolutely,
they just try to sell the fuck out of us, man.
That's just getting into the kids' heads, right? Like on a very addictive thing.
Yeah, because you think, oh, it's cool, you know, I'm smoking a cigarette, you know, my little gum stick like them and shit. And then you get a real cigarette and you want to try it too, you know what I mean? But
100%, man, and like. The thing is, like, it's highly addictive, and like video games are highly addictive too. And this is just another one of those things that's gonna like suck your kids' life away. And you know, I like video games. I'm gonna let my kids play them, but I want them to be able.
You just
to
gotta balance it.
Yeah, I need them to function.
They gotta go outside and
this, you know, and be in the world and stuff like that. Like with VR, it's a total detachment. Like, I don't like that for kids. You know, like. It's just too. It crosses a line for me with the whole limits thing with kids. Right. I wish it was more like you mentioned, tailored towards adults, like
or just like everybody.
I would like it too. Yeah, or like not adults, just everybody, and let parents decide. But because they're focusing like on kids, I feel like, you know, you're gonna have a lot of issues with kids just addicted and just lost in this world. This is like Ready Player One, right? For kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's crazy.
And I know we were having the you know, the conversation before about how it was interesting how they were trying to sell it, right? They were saying that it was like a collaborative environment that would be able to help build like social skills, creativity, and then communication, right? And you know, I thought it was, you know, it was interesting the aspect that you were saying about how it's kind of counterproductive as far as like communication would go. Like in some areas, right, it will be really helpful, right? That shy person that isn't really good around crowds, you know, maybe somebody with a little bit of autism or something like that works better, you know, being, you know, away from people, you know, and stuff like that. You know, he's in a video game, his mind can wrap around the video game, and that he's in a room with people in a video game, but not really in a room with people, you know what I mean? And he might excel extremely well, you know, and come up with like brilliant ideas, you know, things that, you know, might be able to be used for other stuff in the future or whatnot. But, you know, as far as like communication is concerned, you know, I liked what you're saying about like, you know, body language, you know, like the way you respond, you know, physically in a conversation plays a lot, you know, with a conversation and you know, the talks that you have.
Yeah. Like I was, like it's if I remember right, it's like 90%. It's like a huge majority of communication is nonverbal, right? So like verbal is a big part of communication, but a lot of it is mannerisms. How are you communicating what you're saying, inflections, tones? I mean, all those things are important, dude. Like they're all important, all of them. And you don't learn that really. You don't learn that through a screen, really. You learn it much better with an actual person, face to face. That's why, like you said, like you want your kids to go out. You want your kids to be around other kids, and you want your kids to learn how to act around other people.
Yeah, you gotta get your social skills up.
Yeah, they have to be socialized correctly, and like things like this just deter that. So while yes, it is a venue for kids to communicate in, it's not the kind of communication you want to foster. Right. So it's like, yes,
you don't want to build. You don't want that to be the foundation. You know what I mean? You want it to be like a sideline. You know what I mean? Like help, you know, build what you've already laid down. But throwing them in a virtual world and then telling them to find themselves.
It's where like you can like use what you've learned about communication in this avenue. But you don't want this avenue being how they build their communication skills. Like,
how they learn to communicate.
Yeah, how they learn to communicate. Because they'll be misunderstood. There's like a huge percentage. Like there's it's already like 60% chance that you will be misunderstood than understood. And that's even like experienced adults like you and I. And even face to face, like it's so much easier to be misunderstood than understood. And if you're learning how to communicate through a virtual world with an avatar, like you're going to be misunderstood in life a lot. And it's going to make your life harder. Like I would rather avoid that at 4 or 5. You know, I'd rather avoid that at 6 years old. Like learn to really communicate. And then when you're older, you know, take your communication skills into this venue and then have fun. But don't make this like your building blocks for communication. Yeah, kids can be creative here, but I wouldn't want this to be a building block for communication at all. And so I kind of disagree with the Epic CEO there when he mentions that. I feel like he's sugarcoating something there that shouldn't be sugarcoated because like, communication, we want that. Yeah. Why wouldn't I want that? Well, really be careful. What kind of communication are you fostering here? Right. Yeah. And so it's tricky.
Yeah. I think maybe, you know, he's just like, kind of like spitballing, you know, what it could be good for it. And you know, he mentions that and it's like, I guess, but you know, it could have some downfall with it. You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, like all in all, I feel like this will be like a grandiose type of thing, you know what I mean? And I'm interested to see what they do come up with. I do hope that it just doesn't solely focus on little kids and giving us like Duplo blocks and shit like that to play with in there. Like I hope it's like, you know what I mean, like legit Lego pieces and you know, like like I want to build a DeLorean in front of me, you know what I mean? I want to be a master builder, like legit, you know what I mean? Like I'm, you know, Iron Man and this shit, you know, putting pieces together and then boom, and I hop in my DeLorean Lego and ride off, you know what I mean? That'd be sick. That'd be sick as hell. Yeah, for sure.
Well, they have the money, man, to do something cool like this. We'll just see what they do.
Both of them do, bro. Like, yeah, man, stuff will be nuts, man. But that's it. That's all we got for you guys this week. We appreciate everybody who's stopped by, everybody who is stopping by. If you haven't yet, hit the like button, subscribe, please, comment if you weren't with us today about some of these topics. You know what I mean? If you have any opinions on anything, do you think that this Lego Epic merger, this joint project that they're working on would be something that's like awesome or what? You know, do you think it's like a downfall of humanity or something? You know, do you feel like you know, Brandon Sanderson's contributions to an Elden Ring type of game would be epic or not? You know what I mean? Are the games that were offered on Game Pass legit or not? You know, thanks for sticking with us, and until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.